Good morning, students. I welcome you all 12th standard commerce students for this online commerce class. Elements of entrepreneurship. Now let us see the part 2 of the lesson. In part 1, we have seen who is an entrepreneur, what is his role, what is an enterprise, what do you mean by entrepreneurship, who is an intrapreneur, what is the difference between entrepreneur and intrapreneur, who is a manager, and what's the difference between entrepreneur and a manager. Now let us see the remaining part of the lesson. So next topic, women entrepreneurs, opportunities and challenges. Women entrepreneurship has been getting growing recognition over the past 2 decades across the world. Decades, 10 years. So only for the past 20 years, women entrepreneurs are given importance. These women entrepreneurs not only get job for themselves, but also they give job for others. So women-owned businesses are playing a very pivotal role in the upsurge of entrepreneurial activity in the United States. So in the United States, women entrepreneurs are given most importance. It is reported that the highest number of self-employed women are in Sweden, followed by England, France and USA. So more women employed we can see in Sweden first, followed by England, France and USA. Women are attracted, where are they working? Attracted to retail trade, restaurants, hotels, education, insurance and manufacturing. In our country, women constitute only 5.2% of the total self-employed persons in India. So if you take India, only 5.2 percentage of the entrepreneurs belongs to women entrepreneur. Majority of them opted for agriculture, agro-based industries, handicrafts, handlooms, cottage industries, but in 2011 it has improved to 25%. So from 5.2% it has improved to 25% by the year 2011. The policy and institutional framework for nurturing entrepreneurial skills, imparting vocation education and training has widened the horizon for economic empowerment of the women. So many policies have come up, many training has been given for the women so that economic empowerment of the women has widened. Women constitute 1/3 of the economic enterprise. Women constitute 1/3 of the economic enterprises, that is business. Thus, a stage has been already set for social takeoff of women from a low development path to an accelerated pace in achieving higher level of self-sustaining economic growth in the wake of new economic policy 1991. So some 20 or 30 years back, women entrepreneurs are very less, but now the takeoff have started and more number of women are becoming the entrepreneurs. So our country has been moving from a low development path to an accelerated pace in achieving the higher level of self-sustaining economic growth in the wake of new economic policy 1991. Let us now see the definition given by Schumpeter. Women who innovate, imitate, or adopt a business activity are known as women entrepreneurs. Women who innovate, imitate. What's the meaning of imitate? To copy others' behavior. It's called as imitate. Or adopt a business activity are known as women entrepreneurs. So any women who is involved in any of the business is called as a women entrepreneurs. It was the definition given by Schumpeter. So Government of India, based on women participation in equity and employment of business enterprise, has defined women entrepreneurs as. So Government of India is giving the definition for women entrepreneurs as an enterprise, that is a business owned and controlled by a woman having a minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of the employment generated in the enterprise to women. So Government of India is giving the definition as, so any enterprise, any company owned and controlled by a women having a minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of the employment generated in the business to women. This was the definition given by the Government of India based on women participation in equity and employment of business enterprise, has defined women entrepreneurs. Opportunities for women entrepreneurs. Let us see the various opportunities for women entrepreneurs. Opportunities based on business, financial opportunities, non-financial support, opportunities created by association, opportunities created by government, opportunities created through training programs, and Consortium of Women Entrepreneurs of India. Let us now see one by one. Opportunities based on business. So women entrepreneurs are blessed with numerous business opportunities depending upon their area, choice of industry, capacity to invest, technical and non-technical skills, etc. So women entrepreneurs can choose various business opportunities based on the area, the size, choice of industry, whether it is a small scale or a medium scale or a large scale, capacity to invest, whether it is a little or more, technical or non-technical skill, etc. The following are the opportunities unfolding in different spheres of commerce. So what are the sphere the women can shine? So in the sphere of manufacturing, women can start business like agarbatti manufacturing. I hope you know what you mean by agarbatti. Puppet making, appalam. Bedspread making, bed sheets. Embroidery, export of handicrafts, apparel manufacturing, sweet stalls, manufacturing soft drinks, pickle making, manufacturing garments, handicrafts, printing press, etc. So all these women can start the business. In the sphere of service, so in the sphere of manufacturing, we have seen all the above manufacturing centers. In the sphere of service, women entrepreneurs may try their hand in ventures like catering service, computer centers, tutorial centers, typewriting institutes, beauty parlors, dry cleaning, small restaurant, tailoring, crush, florist shop, event management, etc. In the realm of trading ventures, women can enter the ventures like fancy store, diagnostic center, milk distribution, sweet stall, drug stores, that is medical, grocery stores, textile retailing, cool drinks parlor, coffee parlor, cell phone repairs, photo studios, photocopier firms, working women's hostel, etc. Highly educated, experienced, and broadly exposed women technocrats can start larger venture like running hospitals, coaching center, diagnostic laboratories, manufacturing activities suited to their field of specialization, advertisement and media firms, call centers, hotels, etc. So, based on your education, based on the area, based on your investment, based on whether it is a technical or non-technical skills, women can shine in many of the spheres, either in manufacturing or service or trading, or if you are highly educated in various other fields. Next one, financial opportunities. Financial opportunities. All banks in India provide financial support to the women entrepreneur in the form of micro small loans to buy raw materials and equipment. So any women want to start a business, all the banks are ready coming forward and provide micro small loans to buy the raw materials and other equipments. Non-financial support. Women entrepreneurs are provided with the following non-financial support in the form of putting in policies, regulations and legal structures suitable to women entrepreneurs, financial counseling and training, business advisory service, handling legal barriers, establishing commercial linkages, client research, profitability and efficiency analysis, offering and designing the products based on their needs, lower rate of interest, collateral free loans, simplified processing system, flexible repayment system based on business nature. So these are all the non-financial support that will be given for the women entrepreneurs. Opportunities created by association. See the list of associations that have been set up in order to help the women. SHG, self-help groups, FIWE, Federation of India Women Entrepreneurs, WIT, Women's India Trust, SIDO, Small Industries Development Organization, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, SEWA, Self-Employed Women's Association, AWAKE, Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Karnataka, TSS, the International Center for Entrepreneurship and Career Development, TNCDW, Tamil Nadu Corporation for Development of Women Limited, MOVES, Marketing Organization of Women Enterprises, WEPA, Women Entrepreneurs Promotion Association, WEAT, Women Entrepreneurs Association of Tamil Nadu, VW by Google. All these are the list of associations set up in order to support the women entrepreneurs. Opportunities created by government. So government, both union and central, have put in a number of schemes exclusively for promotion of women entrepreneurship. What are they? Stand Up India scheme for women entrepreneurs. Stand Up India scheme for women entrepreneurs, Trade Related Entrepreneurship Assistance and Development Scheme for women, Mahila Koyar Yojana, Mahila E-Hat, Magalir Udavi Scheme, Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana, Development of Women and Children in Rural India, Mudra Yojana Scheme for Women, Udyogini Scheme, TRISM. These are all the opportunities created exclusively for the women entrepreneurship by both Union and Central Government of India. Opportunities created through training program. Opportunities created through the training program. Government of India has introduced National Skill Development Policy and National Skill Development Mission in 2009 in order to provide skill training, vocational education and entrepreneurship development to the emerging workforce. So the Government of India has started two policies, National Skill Development Policy and National Skill Development Mission in 2009. Why? In order to provide skill training, vocational education and entrepreneurship development to the emerging workforce, that is for the women. This has been catalyzing the emergence of women entrepreneurs in India. This has been specially set up only for the women entrepreneurs of India. The following training schemes are being implemented for promoting self-employment of women by Government of India. What are they? Support for training and employment program of women, that is STEP. Development of women and children in rural areas, DWCRA. Small Industry Service Institutes, State Financial Corporations, National Small Industries Corporations and District Industrial Centers. So these are all the training schemes that have been implemented by the Government of India for promoting self-employment for women. Consortium of Women Entrepreneurs of India, CWEI. Consortium of Women Entrepreneurs of India was registered as a civil society in the year 1996, which is a non-profit organization in New Delhi. They are acting as a springboard for enterprises started by the women. Who? CWEI. It is helping women to achieve high economic empowerment. It is acting as a catalyst to improve the access of women folk to natural resources. It is acting as a catalyst to improve the access of women folk to natural resources. It is providing technological support in the sphere of product design and development in the case of women-owned enterprises. It is providing quality control, marketing and technological supports to women-owned enterprises. It is spreading knowledge to women entrepreneurs about various government schemes. So this CWEI is a non-profit organization which was set up in 1996 in New Delhi. They are rendering various functions for women entrepreneurs. They act as a springboard for women. They help to achieve high economic empowerment for women. They act as a catalyst to improve the access of women to natural resources. It provides technological support in the sphere of product design and development in the case of women owned enterprises. It is also providing quality control, marketing, and technological supports to women owned enterprises. It is spreading knowledge to women entrepreneurs about various government schemes. Challenges of women entrepreneurs. A number of research studies conducted in India have brought out the following problems and challenges encountered by women entrepreneurs during the course of their entrepreneurial journey. So, researchers have been taken and they have proved that women entrepreneurs are facing multi number of problems and challenges. Let us see what are those challenges and problems. Problem of finance. The access of women to external sources of fund is limited to women as they do not generally own properties in their own name. That is, if you go and ask for a loan in the bank, they hesitate to give for a woman because they don't have any properties of their own. Financial institutions too do not consider women in general credit worthy. The bank gets afraid that women will not be in a position to repay the loan amount, so they hesitate to give for the women. In this context, they are pushed to rely on their own savings and small loans from friends and relatives. So what happens? The women, they will not get any loan from the bank. They have to take money only from their own savings or from small loans what they get from their friends and the relatives. Because of the limited funds, women entrepreneurs are not able to effectively and efficiently run and expand their business. Even though the women have all qualities to run a business effectively, due to the lack of this fund, due to the lack of money, women entrepreneurs are unable to run their business effectively and very efficiently like that of the men entrepreneurs. Second problem, limited mobility. Indian women cannot afford to shed their household responsibilities towards their family even after they plunge into the ventures started by them. So even though you may be MD of a very big company, you may be a owner of your own company, even then you are a important person for your own family. So women will not come forward to move far off places for the sake of business. This restricts the mobility of women entrepreneurs significantly. The domestic responsibilities do not allow women entrepreneurs to freely move out of business enterprises in connection with business activities. Yes, each and every woman will have their own household responsibilities. They have to take care of their husband, their children, their family, everybody. See, even though they may be a MD, they have to see their own family first. So, women entrepreneurs restricts the mobility. The domestic responsibilities do not allow women entrepreneurs to freely move out of business enterprises in connection with business activities. Lack of education. Next problem. Illiterate and semi-literate women entrepreneurs encounter a lot of challenges in their entrepreneurial journey with respect to maintaining accounts, understanding money matters, day-to-day operations of the company, marketing the products, applying technology, etc. We should not think that only the educated women can become the or can start the business. No. Even an illiterate woman and a semi-literate woman also can start a business. So if these two persons start a business, they have to come across or face lot of challenges in their business journey. What are the problem? What are the challenges? Respect to maintaining accounts, they doesn't know how to maintain the accounts. Understanding the money matters, what comes in, what goes out, they cannot understand. Day to day operations of the company, what is the input, what is the output, what is the process, they don't know. Marketing the products, how to market the products, where to sell, whom to sell. Applying technology, what sort of technology has to be applied for the improvement of the production. These illiterate and semi-literate women cannot function properly. This is one of the, so lack of education is a very important challenges facing by the women entrepreneurs. Lack of network support. The successful operation of any venture, any business, irrespective of the size, depends upon the network of support extended by various constituencies like family members, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, institutions, and so on. So it may be any business, it may be run by either men or women. The success of it depends upon the network of support that should be given by family members, friends, relatives, neighbors, institutions, and so on. Women entrepreneurs need much needed psychological support and wiser counseling, especially during the time they actually encounter challenges. So women by nature, they are highly sensitive, emotional. So they need a good counselor to counsel them at the time of when they are put into difficulty or challenge. So women entrepreneurs need much needed psychological support. Apart from the above support, women entrepreneurs need psychological support which will help them during the time of the challenges. Women entrepreneurs in India get very limited support in times of crisis from most of these constituencies. But women entrepreneurs, when they are in difficult position, they do not get proper support from family members, friends, relatives, neighbors, institution, and also the psychological support. Stiff competition. Women entrepreneurs have to face acute competition for their goods from organized sector and from their male counterparts. So women entrepreneurs have to face a stiff competition for their goods from organized sector and from male counterparts. So small women entrepreneurs may have the unorganized sector. So they have to face the competition from organized sector and also from the male counterpart. Since they are not able to spend liberally due to financial constraints, they are not able to compete effectively and efficiently in the market. So howsoever the goods are very good, they cannot sell their products in the market because people expect goods from the organized sector and most probably from the goods manufactured by the male counterparts. Sensitivity. Women are more prone to a variety of emotions. Being mother, women are vulnerable to many emotions. They tend to have sympathy and empathy for others. Yes, women are by nature have variety of emotions. That to being a mother, women are vulnerable to have to face many emotions. They have many emotions. They tend to have sympathy and also empathy for others. This trait does not allow women entrepreneurs to take objective decisions in many contexts during the course of running the entrepreneurial venture. This inherently tones down the effectiveness of their functioning. So, women in nature they are very sensitive and emotional, so they cannot take very stiff decision as the male entrepreneur take. So naturally this unbold decision will slows down the effectiveness of their business functioning. Next, lack of information. Women entrepreneurs are reported not to be generally aware of subsidies and incentives available for them due to their poor literacy levels or due to their preoccupation with household responsibilities. This prevents them from availing themselves of special concession, benefits, and incentives awarded by government and other agencies. So, lack of information. Women entrepreneurs are not generally aware of the subsidies, incentive, concessions, benefits, etc. that has been awarded for them by the government. Why? Because they have poor literacy level or due to their preoccupation with household responsibilities. Okay, so they lack information, so they deny getting it everything from the government and other agencies. Dependent culture. In India, women, however educated and talented, are groomed to be dependent on their parents, life partners, and children during their various phases of their life cycle. So, in India, women, even though you are highly educated and highly talented, you are groomed, you are brought up in such a way that women should be always dependent. When you are at a child level, you should depend on your parents. If you get married, you should depend on your life partner. After that, you have to depend, when you become old, you have to depend upon your children. They could not take decision on their own in many contexts due to this dependency factor. So women are not allowed to take their own decision. They have to either stick on to the decision taken by the parent or their life partner, that is the husband or the children. They have to take permission from their support groups to engage in any purposeful and gainful activity. So whatever steps the women want to take, he has to discuss and get the permission from the support groups, that is either the parent or the husband or the children. They are not treated as equals unlike women in Western countries. If you take America, Britain, Japan, everywhere, women are equal to that of men, but not equal in India. In India, women are always what? Dependent on their parents, partners, and the children. They cannot take any decision on their own. Next topic, entrepreneurial functions. See the chart given here. These entrepreneurial functions is classified into three groups: promotional function, managerial function, and commercial function. So under promotional function, you can see discovery of idea, determining the business perspectives, detailed investigation, choice of form of enterprise, fulfillment of the formalities, preparation of business plan, mobilization of funds, and procurement. In managerial functions, we can discuss planning, organizing, directing, controlling, coordination, commercial functions we can discuss: production and manufacturing, marketing, accounting, finance, human resource management. First, promotional functions. First topic, discovery of idea. The first and foremost function of entrepreneur is idea generation. So the first and important function of any businessman is generating idea. Ideas can be generated through many ways, like own experience and exposure of entrepreneur, keen observation of environment, education, training, market survey, environmental scanning, and so on. So ideas can be generated through many ways. It may be like your own experience, observing the environment, education, training, market survey, environmental scanning, and so on. After the ideas were collected, the entrepreneur will finally select an idea which is worth pursuing commercially. So after collecting all the ideas, the entrepreneur will finally select one idea which is worth to follow, pursuing commercially. Next one, determining the business objectives. Entrepreneur has to develop business objectives in the backdrop of nature of business and type of business activity. So the entrepreneur has to develop the business objective, why, for what reason he is starting the business, based on the nature of business and also the type of business activity. Nature of business, manufacturing or trading, type of business organization chosen so that he or she can organize the venture in accordance with the objectives determined by him or her. So entrepreneur has to develop business objectives in the backdrop of nature of business and type of business activities. That means nature of business, manufacturing or trading, type of business organization chosen so that he or she can organize the venture, the business, in accordance with the objectives determined by him. First of all, you have to fix your objective. Then you have to work accordingly based on the nature, the manufacturing, the type of business, etc. Detailed investigation. Entrepreneur has to analyze in detail the product proposes to produce. So first the businessman has to analyze what product he is going to produce. Entrepreneur should investigate commercial feasibility of the product proposed to be produced. Then he have to investigate if the certain product is proposed, what will be the outcome, what will be the result. He should conduct market study to ascertain the potential demand for the product. He should study about the market condition, whether the particular product what he has selected to produce is having the demand. Entrepreneur has to probe the sources of supply of various inputs required for manufacturing the proposed product, their respective prices and other terms and conditions. So entrepreneur has to probe the source of supply of various inputs that are required to produce a product. If you want to produce a product, naturally you have to supply the raw materials. So entrepreneur has to take care of all that. Then the respective prices and other terms and conditions. So regarding all this, the entrepreneur has to make a detailed investigation. Choice of form of enterprise. So entrepreneur has to choose the appropriate form of organization that will suit for his business. There are different forms of organization, namely sole proprietor, partnership, company, cooperatives, etc. So the entrepreneur will select what sort of organization that will be suiting for his business. So he will select this based on many factors like nature of product to be produced, the size of investment, the amount of money, the nature of activities, size of organization, nature of liability of owners, retention of control, degree of risk, scale of operation, stability, and so on. Based on these factors, the entrepreneur will select or choose one particular form of organization that will suit for his business. Next one, fulfillment of the formalities. So entrepreneur has to take necessary steps to establish the form of organization chosen. So he has been selected any one of the organization. So if he has taken partnership firm, entrepreneur has to arrange for partnership deed and he has to get the deed registered. So if he choose the organization as partnership, then the entrepreneur has to arrange for partnership deed. It's like a will, and he has to get the deed registered from the government. There are a lot of formalities to be fulfilled in the case of registration of a company and cooperative form of organization. If the entrepreneur has decided to start a company in cooperative form, there are lots and lots and lots of formalities that should be fulfilled. Promoter has to take all necessary steps for establishing the form of organization. Promoter is a person who will help the entrepreneurs to set up their organization. So after selecting the form of organization, various formalities will be there that should be fulfilled by the entrepreneurs. Preparation of business plan. Entrepreneur has to prepare a business plan or project report of the venture that he is proposing to take up. This plan helps entrepreneur to achieve various objectives formulated within a specific period of time. So plan plays a very vital role in all fields. So entrepreneur has to prepare a business plan. What he is going to do, what he is going to produce, how he is going to produce, what sort of investment he is going to invest, what sort of company he is going to start. All those things he have to make a plan or report of the business that he is going to start. So this plan will help the entrepreneur to achieve various objectives that he has formulated within a specific period of time. So planning is very, very important to start everything. Even you student, before starting to learn, you have to make a plan. Yes. Mobilization of funds. Mobilization of funds. Entrepreneur has to take steps to mobilize capital needed to implement the venture. So everything, the organization has been started, everything is ready. Now the next one, you need money to start the business. So the entrepreneur has to take step to mobilize the capital. Capital means money needed to start the business. Entrepreneur has to estimate the fixed capital and working capital required for running the project. So he has to estimate what should be the fixed capital, what should be the working capital that is needed for my company to start. Then the entrepreneur has to take steps to build funds, to collect the funds from various channels like own fund from his own money, or borrowing from his close circle, or getting it from bank or from any other financial institutions. Yes. Procurement of machines and materials. So now idea was created, setting up of organization is over. Now the entrepreneur is ready with his money. So next what he has to do? Entrepreneur has to locate the various sources of supply of machineries and equipments and materials. So you have to collect all this machineries, equipments, materials in order to start the business. So entrepreneur has to collect details from the various sources of supply and screen them for selecting the best source of supply. If for example if you want to get some iron, he has to go and get the quotation from various companies, select any one of them and then he will purchase it. That is called as a entrepreneur has to collect detail from various sources of supply and screen them for selecting the best source of supply. Next is managerial functions of management. What are they? Planning, directing, organizing, staffing, controlling. Let us see one by one. First is planning. Under planning, entrepreneur has to lay down the objectives, goal, vision, mission, policies, procedure, programs, budget, schedules, etc. for enabling the venture to proceed towards established destination. So first one, very important one is planning. So under planning, what the entrepreneur should do? He has to lay down. Keep in mind what? His objective. Why he has started the business? What for he has started the business? Goal. What is going to achieve? Vision. What is his aim? Mission. How he is going to do it? Policies. Various policies. How he is going to proceed? Procedure. Programs. The budget. There is amount in hand. Money in hand. Various schedule, etc. for enabling the business to proceed towards well established destination. Next, organizing. So entrepreneur puts in place suitable organizational structure to perform various managerial function. So he has to organize. So entrepreneur select a place suitable for his organization structure to perform his managerial work. The functions are, what are its function? Entrepreneur's function. Choosing the type of organization, creating departments, fitting the human resources to appropriate organization slot, defining and delegating authority, distributing responsibility, and creating accountability for efficient performance of activities. So what are all the functions of an entrepreneur? First, he has to choose the type of organization, whether it is a sole proprietor or a partnership or a company and a cooperative. Next, he has to create the departments. Then he has to fit the human resource, that is he has to give employment for the people to appropriate organization. Defining and delegating authority, that is select the person, skilled persons, and you have to delegate the works, define the works. Distributing the responsibility and creating accountability for the efficient performance of the all the business activities. Directing. In the realm of directing, entrepreneur has to motivate, lead, that is come forward, guide and communicate with subordinates on an ongoing basis in order to accomplish preset goals, directing how he has to move with the business. In the realm of directing, in that field, what the entrepreneur should do has to motivate the workers. He should come forward, march forward, lead, guide his subordinates, guide and communicate with subordinates what on an ongoing basis how the business track is going on. He has to regularly discuss all this with his subordinates in order then only he can accomplish the goals set by him. The process of directing involves issuing orders and instruction, guiding, counseling, mentoring, checking, guiding of employees, supervising employees, maintaining discipline, motivating the employees, and providing leadership. So, in the direction, what all the entrepreneur should do, he has to issuing orders and instruction. What the employee skilled and unskilled has to do, guide them, counsel them, mentor the employees, supervise the employee, maintain the discipline, motivate the employees, and also the last providing leadership qualities. Controlling. Entrepreneur has to put in mechanism to evaluate the performance of employees across the organization. So the entrepreneur has to put in mechanism to evaluate, to find out the performance of employees. He should have some plan. He should have created a plan or a method in order to evaluate the performance of the employee. The various steps involved in control function includes fixing performance standards, measuring the actual performance, comparing actual performance with standard, finding out causes for deviation if any. So what are the steps involved in control function? Fix the performance standard. This is your standard. You have to achieve this. Measure the actual performance made by the worker. Compare the actual performance with the standard performance. Find out the causes for deviation. He or she may use various control techniques like account, auditing, management information system, network analysis, cost control, financial tool, etc. Coordination. Entrepreneur has to evolve mechanism to pull together the diverse function performed by various departments or teams and direct them towards the established goals of the organization for accomplishment. So entrepreneur has to evolve, set up a mechanism to pull together the various function performed by various departments or teams and direct them towards the established goals of the organization for the accomplishment. He has to coordinate everything performed by various departments or teams. Next is the commercial functions. First one, production or manufacturing. Under production function, entrepreneur has to take decision relating to selection of factory site, design and layout, type of products to be manufactured, research and development, product design, etc. The efficient and effective performance of production function depends on the proper production planning and control to a major extent. So, in the first function, that is production function or manufacturing function, what the entrepreneur should do means he has to take decision relating to selection of factory site, where to start the factory, the design to build the factory, what are the types of product that he is going to manufacture, what is the R&D, that is research and development, he is going to do, how he is going to design his product, etc. So this efficient and effective performance of production function depends on the proper production planning and control to certain extent. Next, marketing. Entrepreneur has to carry out following functions pertaining to marketing aspects, namely consumer research, product planning and development, standardization, packaging, pricing, warehousing, distribution, promotion, etc. So now the products are produced. Next we have to market the product. So what are all the marketing aspects that an entrepreneur has to take care? Consumer research, product planning and development, standardization of the product, packaging method, pricing, warehousing, distribution, promotion, etc. The very success of marketing function is very much linked with selection of appropriate marketing mix. The very success of marketing function is very much connected with selection of appropriate marketing mix. The term marketing mix means what? It denotes the combination of 4 components: product, price, promotion and physical distribution. First one is good quality product, fair price, promotion and physical distribution. In case of physical products, and 3 more components are included in the case of service product, namely people, process and physical evidence. So in case of physical product, 3 more new components are included. What are they? People, process and physical evidence. So entrepreneur has to carry out the various functions like consumer research, product planning, standardization, packaging, pricing, warehousing, distribution, promotion, etc. The success of marketing is very much linked with the selection of appropriate marketing mix. What are those marketing mix? It's nothing but product, price, promotion and physical distribution. If it is a physical product, 3 more components are there. The 3 more components are people, process and physical evidence. Next one, accounting. Entrepreneur has to arrange to prepare trading and profit and loss account in order to know the profit or loss incurred out of operation of the business, and prepare balance sheet to know the financial status of business at a particular day. So for any businessman, accounting is very, very important. Only then he knows whether the company is getting a profit or a loss. So each and every entrepreneur has to arrange to prepare trading and profit and loss account in order to know why he has to do this, to know the profit or loss incurred by the business, and he has to prepare the balance sheet to find out whether the company is in a what stage, the financial status of the business on that particular day. Besides, cash flow and fund flow statements are prepared to ensure the adequacy of funds and cash for meeting various working capital needs of the business. You should also make an account of the cash that is coming in and the cash that is going out, and he has to ensure the adequacy of fund that he is having in hand in order to meet the working capital need of the business. So accounting is very, very essential for any business to continue. Next is finance. An entrepreneur has to take decisions like choosing the right type of financing, framing the best dividend policy, acquiring of funds, efficiently managing fixed and current assets, maximizing shareholders' wealth, and investing of funds efficiently and effectively. So, finance. So, entrepreneur has to take decisions like choosing the right type of financing, framing the best dividend policy, acquiring of funds, getting of funds, efficiently managing both the fixed and current asset, maximizing the shareholders' wealth, and investing of funds efficiently and effectively. Human resource management. Entrepreneur has to estimate the manpower needs of the enterprise and accordingly decide the size of manpower required for various lots of organizational structure. Human resource management is a must, is essential for running a business. So the entrepreneur has to estimate the total manpower that he is needed to run his factory. Then the entrepreneur has to organize the performance of the following functions pertaining to human resource, namely arranging for recruitment, selecting the persons, selecting the manpower, induction and training program for them, determining the compensation structure and incentives, what is the salary, designing motivation program, structuring well-being measures for the employees, putting in place safety mechanism at workplace, performance evolution and career advancement and structural society, structuring social security programs. So all this has to be taken care by the entrepreneur. What are they? First he has to do the arranging for recruitment, selecting the manpower, give proper training for them, fixing their salaries, giving motivation program, taking care of the well-being of the employees, putting a safe place for the workers to work in, performance evolution and career advancement, and structuring social security programs. So we have come to the end of the lesson. So in the part 2 we have studied about the women entrepreneurship, what are its problem, challenges, everything. Plus we also seen the various functions of the entrepreneurs. I hope you have understood all the concepts very clearly. I'll meet you soon in the next chapter. Thank you, students.